Democratic Senator John Fetterman is not the politician we thought we knew.
Israel it represents the kind of values that in America, and it's like we should be able to defend the Israeli way of life, and we can't ever forget they are the ones that started this.
After campaigning like a typical progressive, getting endorsed and elevated by Bernie Sanders, he distanced himself from his party on major issues. He also sounds different than he used to. This was him at a debate against Dr. Oz in October 2022.
I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I stand and I do support fracking.
Having just recovered from a stroke, Fetterman malfunctioned on camera more than a few times. Few Republicans thought he was mentally capable enough to be senator. But now, he's cogent, he's quick on his feet, he's even eloquent. Democrats are confused, but for Republicans, it's been a pleasant surprise. Maybe it's the start of a serious conversion to the right, or maybe it's just a competitive play to look more centrist. Fetterman represents Pennsylvania, a swing state with a lot of rural areas.
And I'm going to fight for the steelworkers and their union way of life here as well, too.
Either way, if there's another independent-minded lawmaker in Congress, the more the merrier. So how did Fetterman shock everyone?
Let's be honest here. Why aren't you protesting to bring them all home right now? Why aren't you demanding that Hamas surrenders as well too? Bring all of these people back home now.
After Hamas's brutal invasion on October 7th, Fetterman vehemently defended Israel and blasted his Democratic peers for demanding a ceasefire and drawing a moral equivalence between Israel's strategy and the Palestinians' treatment. To raise awareness for the innocent Israelis kidnapped by Hamas, Fetterman covered his entire front office with their pictures. Even when confronted by protesters, he doubled down. He's triggering and trolling all the right people. After activists showed up to scream in front of his house over his support for Israel, he did this.
Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide! Fetterman, you can't hide! You're supporting genocide!
Unlike many of his Democratic colleagues, Fetterman actually did homework on Hamas, discovering that its founding charter explicitly calls for Israel to be wiped off the map. He knows what this terrorist group wants. He said, Hamas does not want peace, they want to destroy Israel. We can talk about a ceasefire after Hamas is neutralized. Next, Fetterman no doubt irked the Biden administration by stating the obvious on illegal immigration.
There's a crisis at the border, and I don't know how anybody could pretend that there isn't.
This doesn't cost Fetterman much politically to say this. It's not that provocative, except some Democrats called his stance xenophobic.
I honestly don't understand why it's controversial to say we need a secure border.
What's more likely is not that Fetterman is moving right, but that the Overton window of the Democratic Party has dramatically shifted.
This has gone too far.
Democrats didn't used to be as committed to a de facto open border as Biden. Fetterman is just representing purple Pennsylvania as an old-school liberal in short supply these days. After Republican Congressman George Santos was kicked out of Congress for a series of scandals, Fetterman made another splash. He called for the removal of Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, whose embarrassments involved him allegedly being a foreign agent of Egypt and hoarding gold bars and cash in his mattress.
He needs to go. And if you are going to expel Santos, how can you allow to somebody like Menendez to remain in the Senate?
To further make his point, Fetterman paid Santos, who he called a seasoned expert on government ethics, to make a satirical pep talk video for his ethically challenged colleague.
Hey, Bobby, look, I don't think I need to tell you, but these people that want to make you get in trouble and want to kick you out and make you run away, you make them put up or shut up. You stand your ground, sir, and don't get bogged down by all the haters out there.
Fetterman going after corruption in the Democratic Party makes you wonder, where are the Republicans? Many Republicans helped exile Santos from Congress. Why are they playing softball with Menendez? Fetterman has been one of the few to keep beating this drum, calling for Menendez to resign.
And now he's been accused of being a foreign agent for now two nations in the Middle East. What's he still doing here?
To be sure, Fetterman is a different kind of Democrat. and it's only making him more popular. 26% of voters think more favorably of Fetterman now for expressing strong support for Israel, where only 14% say this makes them think less favorably of him, according to a January Quinnipiac poll. His new support for border security makes 35% think more favorably of him and 9% less favorably of him. After he stumbled so many times on the campaign trail, then repeatedly flouted the Senate dress code once in office, many Republicans saw Fetterman as a joke and kind of a jerk. But now they see him in a different light. The baggy hoodies and cargo pants don't seem that offensive anymore. Fetterman also reached across the aisle recently to support Governor DeSantis in his move to ban lab-grown meat in Florida. If you want to hear more about why elites want to make you eat fake meat while they eat filet mignon, check out our video here.